The world teaches you that power is loud, that strength is aggressive, that confidence is dominance. But ancient wisdom and modern psychology reveal a quieter truth. The most powerful presence in any room is the calmest one. Not the one who speaks the most, not the one who demands attention, but the one whose inner world is so stable that nothing outside can shake it. Most people mistake emotional intensity for strength. They raise their voice to feel powerful. They argue to feel superior. They force to feel in control. But inside they are fragile. Their identity depends on reaction. Their stability depends on validation. Their peace depends on circumstances. That is not power. That is dependency disguised as confidence. True power begins when you no longer need to prove it, when you can remain gentle in a harsh world, when you can stay soft without being weak, when you can listen without losing yourself, when you can walk away without needing the last word. This is gentle power. This is the discipline of the calm mind. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave it scientific names. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, commanded armies, faced betrayal, plague, and political chaos. Yet in his private journal, he spoke to himself like a quiet friend. He reminded himself to stay mild, to stay reasonable, to stay internally ordered. His strength was not in domination. His strength was in inner governance. In modern terms, this is emotional regulation, nervous system stability, cognitive control. But beyond terminology, it is the ability to hold steady energy while the world around you moves violently. It is the ability to be the mountain while storms pass over it. Most people live like leaves in the wind. Every comment moves them. Every notification pulls them. Every disagreement shakes them. They think this is normal. They think this is life, but it is not life. It is a mind without discipline. Gentle power begins the moment you decide your inner state is your responsibility. Not your partner's responsibility. Not your boss's responsibility. Not society's responsibility. Your responsibility. From that moment, you stop asking the world to change so you can feel peace. You start shaping yourself so no world event can steal your peace. This is where calm becomes strength. Not calm as passivity, not calm as avoidance, but calm as a sharpened state of awareness. The ability to see clearly while others drown in reaction. The ability to respond slowly while others react instantly. The ability to stay soft while remaining unbreakable. Psychology shows that people trust calm individuals more, follow calm leaders more, feel safe around calm presences. Romantic attraction increases toward emotional steadiness. Professional authority grows from composed behavior. Social influence expands from stable energy. Calm is not weakness. Calm is social gravity. The Stoics would say the same. He who conquers himself is stronger than he who conquers a city. That conquest is quiet, internal, invisible, yet its impact shapes every external outcome. Gentle power also protects you from becoming cruel. Many people chase strength so hard they become hard. They become sharp. They become defensive. They become aggressive. They mistake armor for identity, but armor worn too long becomes a cage. Gentle power allows you to stay open without being vulnerable, soft without being breakable, warm without being naive. This balance is rare. This balance is magnetic. This balance is what makes someone unforgettable, not because they impress you, but because they calm you. When you meet someone who is deeply calm, your nervous system relaxes automatically. Your breathing slows. Your mind softens. You feel safe. This is biological. This is mirror neurons. This is co-regulation. This is gentle power in action. The calm mind does not need to dominate. It influences quietly. It reshapes environments. It softens conflict. It redirects chaos. It changes the emotional weather of rooms simply by being present. This is why ancient monks sat in silence, why Stoics practiced restraint, why philosophers valued stillness. They were not escaping life. They were training the most powerful force available to humans, stable consciousness. The world today is addicted to stimulation, noise, speed, reaction, instant expression, immediate opinion, emotional discharge. Most people have never experienced a quiet mind for more than seconds. They fear silence because silence reveals the untrained self. But silence is where gentle power is forged. In silence, you observe thoughts instead of obeying them. In silence, you feel emotions without being dragged by them. In silence, you discover who you are beneath noise. Gentle power is built in moments no one sees, when you choose not to respond immediately, when you choose to breathe before speaking, when you choose to listen fully instead of preparing your reply, when you choose to walk away instead of escalating, when you choose to rest instead of overstimulate. These small acts shape the nervous system. They rewire the brain. They teach the body that safety comes from inside, not outside. Over time, your presence changes. You speak slower, move slower, think clearer, react less, influence more. People will ask what changed. They will think you gained confidence. But it is deeper. You gained internal authority. Internal authority means you trust yourself. You do not collapse under criticism. You do not inflate under praise. You remain centered. This is the Stoic ideal. This is psychological maturity. This is gentle power. The world desperately needs this. Leaders who do not lead through fear. Partners who do not love through control. Parents who do not raise children through emotional volatility. Friends who do not demand constant validation. Gentle power heals relationships without words, yet it must be disciplined. Calm without discipline becomes laziness. Softness without boundaries becomes weakness. Stillness without awareness becomes stagnation. Gentle power is not passive. It is active restraint, active presence, active awareness. A sword resting in its sheath is not weak. It is controlled. It can cut when necessary. But it does not swing unnecessarily. This is gentle power. The ability to act decisively without living in aggression. The Stoics trained this through daily reflection, reviewing reactions, observing impulses, asking whether their response is aligned with reason. Modern psychology trains this through mindfulness, emotional regulation, cognitive reframing. The essence is identical. Awareness before action. Most suffering today comes from unobserved reaction. We speak before thinking. We act before understanding. We judge before listening. Then we live in regret. Gentle power interrupts this chain. Imagine a life where no argument drags you. No insult hooks you. No anxiety controls you. No praise inflates you. No fear freezes you. That life is possible. It begins with the decision to discipline your inner world. Gentle power also teaches compassion. Because when you understand your own reactivity, you understand others. You see that angry people are hurting, that controlling people are afraid, that loud people are insecure. Instead of fighting them, you remain steady around them. This diffuses conflict faster than any argument. This is why therapists, monks, wise elders, and calm leaders feel powerful without force. Their inner regulation regulates others. Their presence reorganizes emotional space. But gentle power must be trained daily, not occasionally. Not when convenient, daily, through breath awareness, through mindful pauses, through conscious speech, through intentional listening, through reduced stimulation, through chosen silence. At first, the mind rebels. It seeks drama. It seeks reaction. It seeks expression. But slowly, the nervous system learns a new baseline. Calm becomes natural. Stillness becomes home. Presence becomes default. This is when your life changes. You become difficult to manipulate, difficult to provoke, difficult to destabilize. You become a calm force moving through a reactive world. Opportunities increase, relationships deepen, leadership emerges naturally. People trust you, not because you demand it, but because your presence feels safe. This is the discipline of gentle power, invisible, unannounced, yet undeniable. The ancient Stoics did not seek fame, yet their words live for centuries. Why? Because gentle power leaves lasting impressions. Loud power burns bright and dies fast. Quiet power glows steadily across time. Your goal is not to become louder than the world. Your goal is to become calmer than the world. This is how you outperform chaos. This is how you become unforgettable without trying. In the next part, we will go deeper into daily training methods, into the psychology of nervous system mastery, into Stoic practices for gentle authority, into how to speak with soft dominance, into how to build boundaries without aggression, into how to become the calmest person in any environment. Because when you master gentle power, you master the rarest skill in the modern world, the ability to stay peaceful in a world designed to disturb you. And that is true strength. Gentle power is not something you claim. It is something others feel. You do not announce it. You cultivate it. Like a garden hidden behind stone walls, its beauty is revealed only to those who enter. This is how the calm mind becomes the strongest force. It works quietly, invisibly, consistently. To build gentle power, you begin with the breath. The breath is the doorway between body and mind. When breath is shallow, the mind is reactive. When breath is slow, the mind is clear. Ancient Stoics did not speak in modern biological terms, but they understood that calming the body calms the soul. Today, neuroscience confirms it. Slow breathing signals safety to the nervous system. Safety allows awareness. Awareness allows choice. Choice is power. Each morning you wake, you choose the tone of your inner climate. Before the world speaks to you, before messages arrive, before noise enters, you sit with yourself. You breathe, you feel, you observe. You remind yourself that nothing external will dictate your inner state today. This simple ritual builds more strength than any loud declaration. Gentle power grows when you practice the pause. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. Most people live without noticing this space. They react automatically. The pause is where mastery lives. A breath before replying, a moment before deciding, a silence before speaking. This pause changes everything. It transforms reaction into response, emotion into intelligence, chaos into clarity. In conversation, gentle power listens fully, not to reply, not to win, but to understand. The world is full of people waiting to speak. Very few know how to listen. When you listen deeply, others feel seen. When they feel seen, they soften. When they soften, influence becomes effortless. This is social alchemy. Calm reshaping the emotional field. Gentle power speaks slowly. Not because it lacks ideas, but because it values precision. Slow speech signals confidence. It signals inner order. It gives words weight. People lean in. They pay attention. Silence becomes part of the message. This is how quiet leaders command rooms without raising volume. The Stoics trained speech as discipline. They spoke only what was necessary. They avoided emotional leakage. They did not waste words. In modern psychology, this is emotional containment. The ability to hold inner experience without spilling it outward unnecessarily. This is dignity. This is composure. This is power. Boundaries are another pillar of gentle strength. Many think boundaries require harshness. But the strongest boundaries are calm ones. A soft no. A quiet refusal. A steady gaze. No justification. No apology. No aggression, just clarity. Boundaries delivered with calm cannot be argued with. They simply exist. People who lack inner stability often push against boundaries. They test, they provoke. They seek reaction. When your boundary is delivered without emotional charge, there is nothing to hook into. The test ends. Respect emerges. Gentle power wins without conflict. In relationships, gentle power becomes emotional safety. You do not chase. You do not cling. You do not withdraw dramatically. You stay present. You stay honest. You stay grounded. This steadiness allows love to breathe. It dissolves insecurity. It creates trust. It builds deep bonds that do not depend on drama. In leadership, gentle power becomes gravity. You do not micromanage. You do not intimidate. You do not over-explain. You set direction calmly. You hold presence. Others align naturally, not from fear, but from trust. This is why the best leaders are often the quietest in the room. Gentle power also knows when to act. Calm is not inaction. Calm is clarity before action. When decisive movement is needed, the calm mind acts cleanly. No excess, no emotional noise, no hesitation, just precise movement. This is the still lake that produces the strongest wave. Training this state requires daily discipline. Meditation is one path. Reflection is another. Journaling emotional reactions. Observing triggers. Studying patterns. Each time you notice yourself reacting, you have an opportunity. You do not judge. You simply observe. Observation rewires. Over time, reactions soften. Awareness strengthens. Modern psychology calls this metacognition. The Stoics called it self-governance. Different language, same truth. The mind that can observe itself becomes free. The world will test your gentle power. People will provoke. Systems will pressure. Life will surprise. This is not a sign you are failing. This is the gym. Each challenge strengthens the muscle of calm. Each provocation is training. Each emotional wave is a lesson in balance. There will be days you fall back into reaction. That is human. Gentle power is not perfection. It is practice. Each time you return to calm, you strengthen the pathway. The brain learns. The body adapts. The identity shifts. Eventually, calm is no longer something you try to do. It becomes who you are. You walk slower. You speak softer. You think clearer. You feel deeper. You notice more. You require less. This is inner wealth. This is psychological independence. People will ask what your secret is. You will have no dramatic story, no quick fix, no miracle technique. Only daily discipline, small choices, tiny pauses, deep breaths, quiet mornings, soft speech, strong boundaries, consistent awareness. This is why gentle power outlasts loud power. Loud power burns energy. Gentle power conserves energy. Loud power depends on performance. Gentle power depends on presence. Loud power needs recognition. Gentle power needs nothing. And that makes it unstoppable. The Stoics prepared for loss, for illness, for death. Not to be morbid, but to be free. When you accept that nothing external is guaranteed, you stop clinging. When you stop clinging, you stop fearing. When you stop fearing, you become gentle without fragility. Gentle power is not the absence of fear. It is the decision not to obey fear. It is not the absence of emotion. It is the ability to feel without drowning. It is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to stay centered within struggle. Your calm mind becomes a refuge for others. Friends come to you when they feel lost. Partners lean into your steadiness. Children mirror your emotional balance. Workplaces feel smoother around you. You become a tuning fork that brings harmony to chaos. This is not mystical. It is biological and psychological. Nervous systems co-regulate. Emotional fields synchronize. Presence spreads. Calm is contagious when embodied deeply. In time, you will notice something subtle. You no longer seek power. And yet power flows through you. Influence without force. Respect without demand. Love without grasping. Authority without ego. This is the discipline of gentle power, not a performance. A way of being. When life brings success, you remain humble. When life brings loss, you remain grounded. When life brings praise, you remain steady. When life brings criticism, you remain open. Nothing sticks. Nothing defines you. Everything passes through awareness. This is freedom. The modern world is built to hijack attention, to steal calm, to provoke reaction, to monetize emotional instability. Choosing gentle power is rebellion. It is stepping out of the machinery. It is reclaiming sovereignty over your mind. Few will walk this path. Many will try. Few will persist. That is why gentle power is rare, and rarity creates value. Not because you seek to be special, but because you refuse to be unconscious. The calm mind is not passive. It is awake. It sees clearly. It feels fully. It chooses wisely. It acts decisively. It rests deeply. It loves openly. It stands firmly. It flows naturally. This is the ultimate advantage. Not wealth, not status, not control over others, but mastery of self. The Stoics called it inner citadel, a fortress within that cannot be invaded. Modern psychology calls it secure self-regulation, different words. Same fortress, your work is simple. Not easy, simple. Return to awareness, again and again. When distracted, return. When triggered, return. When lost, return. When proud, return. When ashamed, return. Awareness is home. Over years, this shapes destiny. Decisions improve. Relationships stabilize. Opportunities expand. Health strengthens. Sleep deepens. Creativity flows. Joy appears quietly, not ecstatic, but stable. Enduring. This is the fruit of gentle power. A life that feels like home within itself. One day, you will look back and realize you did not become powerful by chasing power. You became powerful by surrendering the need for it. You did not become calm by forcing calm. You became calm by observing what was not calm. You did not become strong by fighting the world. You became strong by befriending your inner world. And that is the discipline of gentle power. The calm mind becomes the strongest force not because it tries to be, but because nothing else can move it. Stay gentle. Stay aware. Stay disciplined. And you will become the quiet force that shapes worlds without noise.